A gorilla named Koko once asked her keepers for a kitten. Not to eat, just to keep. She named him All Ball, cradled him like a baby, even tried to nurse him. And when he slipped outside one day and was hit by a car, Koko cried for months. So let me ask you something. Did a gorilla just keep a pet? We tell ourselves that pets are the one thing that makes us human. We're the species that fills its home with creatures it will never eat, never ride, never sell, animals whose entire job is to be loved. Surely nothing else on Earth does that. Right? Well, nature is about to complicate things. Meet the oldest ranchers on Earth, ants. For 50 million years, ants have kept herds of aphids, tiny insects that ooze sweet droplets. The ants stroke them to milk them, guard them from predators, and carry them to fresh plants like a shepherd moving a flock. Some even clip the aphid's wings, so the livestock can't wander off. Other ants skipped the ranch and became farmers. Leafcutter ants have grown crops for 60 million years, long before a single human ever planted a seed. They cut leaves, feed them to a fungus, weed out the mold, and harvest the garden. It's astonishing. But notice something. The aphids, the fungus, they are food. This is agriculture, not affection. And that's the whole puzzle. A cow gives milk, a horse gives labor, but a pet? A pet gives you nothing. No meat, no eggs, no work, just company. So the real question was never whether animals use each other. It's whether any animal keeps another, simply because it wants to. In Kenya, a lioness named Kamunyak did something no lion should. She had lost her cubs. Then she found a baby antelope, the kind lions eat, and instead of killing it, she adopted it, guarded it, starved beside it. She did it again and again with 5 different calves. It's beautiful, but scientists think it was heartbreak, not friendship. A mother's instinct misfiring with no cub left to aim it at. And she's not alone. Dolphins have been filmed raising the calf of a completely different species. A wild monkey once carried and groomed a baby of another kind for months. Over and over, animals adopt the young of others. But look closely. It's always a baby. It trips the ancient circuitry of parenting. A pet is something stranger than that. Which brings us back to Koko. The bond was real. The grief was real. But Koko was a lonely gorilla. No troop, no babies of her own. That kitten may have filled a hole where a whole family should have been. Real love, maybe. But also a substitute. Not quite the proof we were hoping for. So here's the line. A pet isn't a meal or a worker or a borrowed baby. A pet is a creature you choose to keep for years, for no reason at all but the pleasure of its company. And one scientist put it bluntly, humans may be the only animal on Earth that does this. On purpose, again and again, as a way of life. So when did we start? 14,000 years ago, in what is now Germany, a group of people buried a puppy. It had been desperately sick, nursed for weeks, though it could hunt nothing, guard nothing, give them nothing. And they laid it gently in a grave, between a man and a woman. The oldest pet we've ever found, kept alive, purely because they loved it. And after that, the story never stops. A wildcat carried across the sea to Cyprus, buried beside its human with tiny treasures. Cats worshipped as gods in Egypt, lapdogs curled in Roman laps, and then the Victorians turned it into an obsession. Dog breeds, pet shops, and the very first laws written to protect animals. The pet had become family. So, are we the only animals that keep pets? Ants ranch. Lions adopt. A gorilla wept over a kitten. But only one creature looks at an animal it cannot eat, cannot ride, and cannot sell, and decides to love it anyway for a lifetime. We didn't invent caring for another species, we just never stopped. So if your pet is watching you right now, go say hi, and stick around, there's more where this came from.